Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and good evening. Welcome to the Primetime Asia. Tonight we provide the viewers with the latest items on political, socio-economic and cultural news around the Asia-Pacific nations. The leaders of Japan, US and Australia have agreed to deepen their three-way partnership to ensure the future of the Asia-Pacific region. Meanwhile, more than 70 representatives of the international anti-terrorist institutions attended the symposium on strengthening global cooperation to prevent and combat terrorism by using the internet. Cabinet has approved the Bangladesh Hour and Body Water Development Authority Bill 2014, and Iranian President and Foreign Minister of Venezuela held a discussion to further expand bilateral relations. With Donovan Dolamit for the reports.
Good to be here in Brisbane with two such economic and strategic partners.
The leaders of Japan, US and Australia have agreed to deepen their three-way partnership to ensure the future of the Asia-Pacific region and build peace, stability and prosperity. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, US President Barack Obama and Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott met on the sidelines of the G20 meeting in Brisbane, Australia. They agreed to ensure a peaceful resolution of maritime disputes based on international law. They also reconfirmed the value of involvement by the US in the Asia-Pacific region. And they said they will work together to deal with critical issues, including the fight against the Ebola outbreak and Islamic State. Abe and Obama met separately afterward. They are believed to have discussed how to proceed with the Trans-Pacific Partnership free trade talks.
Also a special tribute to the media interest.
Japan will provide polio vaccine to Pakistan to help eliminate the disease from the country. Pakistan is one of the third countries in the world still suffering from this disease. Japan will also offer financial assistance worth about $4.8 million. The aid will be spent to build facilities to store vaccines. Japanese ambassador to Pakistan Hiroshi Inomata expects assistance from Japan and other countries to help Pakistan eradicate polio. Polio is a highly infectious disease that often affects children. Symptoms include fever and fatigue, but in some cases, the disease causes lifelong paralysis. Most countries in the world no longer have polio, but Pakistan and two other countries still suffer from serious cases of infections. Pakistan reported 246 cases this year, which is more than twice from last year. Nurses in Japan have learned what to do if a patient is suspected of being affected by Ebola visiting a hospital. So far, no cases of Ebola have reported in Japan, but there are people who receive health checks upon arrival at the airport Japan from West Africa. About 50 nurses and other medical workers to take part in training workshops on how to handle cases of Ebola in Tokyo. An infectious disease specialist explains what to do if the hospital receives patients who have visited West Africa. More than 70 representatives of the international anti-terrorist institutions attended the symposium on strengthening global cooperation to prevent and combat terrorism by using the internet. The symposium, organized by the Global Counterterrorism Forum, GCTF, held in Beijing. This is the first meeting of China in the Global Counterterrorism Forums. The delegates shared their experiences on anti-terrorism and seeking more global cooperation in this field. UN officials said the joint counterterrorism requires international cooperation in criminal justice. Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Zhang Yesui reiterated China's determination in anti-terrorism, noting that the international cooperation is the only solution to the problem of terrorism. The GCTF is an action-oriented international coordination forum that promotes international commitment and mobilizes civilian capacity to combat terrorism. It was launched by foreign ministers on the 22nd of September of 2011 in New York. It has 30 members, including 29 countries and the European Union.
Justice officers.
Our Chinese partners have our full support, and we feel this full support as far as our priorities in this field are concerned. That's the best possible way to
The Cabinet has approved the Bangladesh Howrah and Body Water Development Authority Bill 2014, makes point at attached department of the Ministry of Water Resources. Approval was given at the regular weekly meeting at the Cabinet held at Bangladesh Secretariat with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina as the chairman. The Cabinet also approved the draft agreement for the regulation of motor vehicle passenger and cargo vehicular traffic among the member countries of SAARC, which aims to improve networking between member states. The Cabinet also approved a proposal to sign a protocol to amend the Memorandum of Understanding on Recruitment existing between Bangladesh and Malaysia to enable the people of Bangladesh to work outside of mainland Malaysia. Cabinet Secretary Musharraf Hussain Buyan Muhammad briefed reporters after the meeting. He said the amendments to the MOU, the workers will also be able to work in one of the largest areas of Sarawak. The Cabinet also approved the proposal of the Reform Second Trade Agreement Royal Government of Bhutan and the Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh to boost bilateral trade between the two countries of SAARC. The Cabinet adopted a resolution congratulating the Bangladesh cricket team to victory recently over Zimbabwe in a 3-test series at home. Cabinet also adopted an obituary reference for 2 of the leading citizens of Swadhinata Padak winner Professor Zilur Rahman Siddiqui and Ekushe Padak winner Saeed Moinul Hossain. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani and visiting Foreign Minister of Venezuela Rafael Ramirez held talks on ways to further expand bilateral relations. President Rouhani called the common view shared by Iran and Venezuela on global issues and said that the friendship between the two countries will continue forever. Iranian president stated at a 166th ministerial meeting of OPEC scheduled to be held in Vienna on the 27th of November is to discuss the sharp reduction in oil prices. He also stressed for immediate completion of the projects under construction between the two countries. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister of Venezuela said the Venezuelan government is determined to broaden ties with the Islamic Republic of Iran and stands by the Iranian nation in all international areas. OPEC is a Vienna-based intergovernmental organization of 12 oil-producing countries, which consists of Algeria, Angola, Ecuador, Iran, Iraq, Libya, Kuwait, Nigeria, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Venezuela. OPEC members pump about 40% of the world's oil, with Iran being currently the organization's 3rd largest oil producer.
Opiniones, puntos de vista en temas internacionales así como regionales.
Iran has launched the largest ever gold processing plants in the Middle East to double the country's annual production of gold bullion in the future. Zarshuran plant, located in West Azerbaijan province in the northwest of the country, was launched by the first Vice President Eshaq Jahangir. With the completion of the first phase of the plant, Iran is expected to produce about 3 tons of pure gold, 1.25 tons of silver, and 500 kilograms of mercury in the future. After construction, the plant will bring the country's annual production of gold to 6 million tons. The new processing facility will also produce about 2.5 tons of silver and 1.5 tons of mercury per year in the future. The plant is fed by a nearby gold mine located approximately 35 kilometers from the city, Takab, and are estimated to hold more than 100 tons of gold.
شهرستان همچنین نماینده محترم محابات زحمت کشیدن تشریف آوردن جناب آقای دکتر جهانگیری اصحاب رسانه دولت
مهم صنعتی و معدنی کشور در جامعه
This week's Primetime Asia also shares more interesting news. Aerobatic team of UAE Air Force pulled the Red Dragon in the sky to delight audiences at the 10th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition. 18 people were killed after a fire at a food packaging plant in East China's Shandong province. Honda fuel cell cars run on electricity generated by a chemical reaction between hydrogen and oxygen. And an injured wild panda has undergone surgery to repair the damage of its intestines. Stay tuned for more reports.
Aerobatic team of the United Arab Emirates UAE Air Force pulled the Red Dragon into the sky to delight audiences of China at the 10th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition in Zhuhai City of South China's Guangdong province. Last Saturday was the second day of the UAE team to perform their aerobatic skills. They drew the dragon totem of the Chinese in the sky, which is designed specifically for the air show, wowing the audience. Later, the team showed its signature move, the image of the UAE national flag, and here the contrail forms. UAE team called Al Fursan, or the Knights in English, was established in 2010. The team surprised the audience by demonstrating a variety of skills to the Italian-built jets MB339A. The biennial Zhuhai Air Show has attracted about 650 manufacturers in the aviation and aerospace industries from 39 countries and regions. At least 18 people were killed and 4 others were missing after a fire at a food packaging plant in East China's Shandong province. Rescuers said they had finished searching for fragments survived and believe that 4 of the missing may have left the area after the fire took hold. Local authorities in Shugang City, well known for its products, said 13 people were injured in the fire. Authorities believe around 140 people were at work when the fire broke out at a carrot packing plant around 8 o'clock in the evening. It lasted for around 2.5 hours before being extinguished by firefighters. Clear-up work is still underway and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. The injured victims are being treated in hospital and the managers of the company are under police control. Fuel cell cars run on electricity generated by a chemical reaction between hydrogen and oxygen. The cars can carry 5 people, such as fuel cells smaller than the old one, and it is installed under the hood. Honda officials said the prototype is almost the same design with a vehicle that aims to introduce in March of 2016. They say it takes only 3 minutes to refill the cells and the car has a driving range of over 700 miles on a full tank of hydrogen. Honda initially planned to release a production model at the end of next year, but will now launch the vehicle in March of 2016. The delay is due to their increased safety inspections after a series of recalls of compact cars produced last year. Honda President Takanobu Ito told reporters that the new fuel cell cars have a sophisticated system. He also said he hoped that the fuel cell vehicles will be common around the year 2030. Among other Japanese automakers, Toyota is planning to announce plans for the sale of the fuel cell. Nissan is developing a fuel cell car with a view to releasing it in 3 years. Children in southwestern Japan will send dried persimmons for Minami-Sanriku in northeast Japan, devastated by an earthquake and tsunami in March of 2011. Students from elementary schools in Kagoshima Prefecture, Hatsukinishi, brought a dried fruit to Minami-Sanriku in Miyagi Prefecture for the past 2 years to encourage people. This year, students are prepared 1,500 of seasonal dishes in the school gym with the help of local farmers. Children carefully peeled persimmon and thread them. After sterilizing them in hot water, they hang fruits under the eaves to dry. The persimmon will take 1 to 2 months to dry in a cool breeze. Students will deliver the fruit along with a message to the people of Minami-Sanriku. One student said his desire is to comfort those who are suffering from the disaster. He said he would be happy if they enjoy the fruit. An injured wild panda, which was rescued by staff at a nature reserve in southwest China's Sichuan province, has undergone surgery and is now recovering. The 3-year-old male panda was found mourning while hiding in a cave near a patrol station in Tangjiehe Nature Reserve in Sichuan, Qingchuan County, according to the station staff. The panda was seriously wounded in the stomach, exposing his intestines. Injuries are believed to have been caused by the yellow-throated martens, according to an official at a nature reserve. Medical staff called to check the panda and later named Ping Ping, which means peace and security. It has undergone surgery to repair the damage of its intestine and is now under further medical observation. Giant pandas are one of the world's most endangered species. About 1,600 live in the wild, mostly in the mountains of Sichuan, while more than 300 live in captivity.
And that concludes this week's edition of Primetime Asia. Until we meet again with more interesting news next week. To watch more on Primetime Asia portal video, you can visit our website at www.rtbnews.rtb.gov.bn. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and wishing you all a pleasant week ahead and good night.